At the beginning of the movie, we see a lady named Amelia. She also has a 6-year-old son. Amelia used to live alone with her son because her husband had died. When Amelia's son was about to be born, her husband was taking her to the hospital. When she met with an accident, Amelia's husband died. On the same day, her son was born, whose name Amelia named Samuel. But she never celebrated her son's birthday because she was sad about her husband's death. Because her husband also died on the same day. She didn't even love Samuel much. Amelia's son Samuel is a very mischievous child. She always felt as if a monster had come to her. Every night before going to bed, he used to sit with his mom and look down, and sometimes the closet. With all these things, Amelia was very worried about him. Every night before going to bed, Amelia used to tell him a story, which he used to listen to with great interest. Samuel always had thoughts of monsters. He had weapons with him to fight them. Samuel always showed his mom magic tricks. He used to learn all this on TV every day. Amelia was very upset with these things of Samuel. She didn't even love him like her own children. One day when Amelia is at work, she gets a call from Samuel's school because he had taken some weapons with him. So Amelia goes to his school and scolds him a lot. She also talks to the principal, after which Amelia drops Samuel off at school. That same night, Samuel tells Amelia, "Mom, tell me a story." He gives a book to his mom, which was called Mr. Babadook, which is also the name of this movie. Amelia reads that book, which said, Babadook is a monster who has very long legs, and his fingers are very strange. He wears a hat on his head, and whoever starts thinking about this monster or sees him, he will never be able to sleep. Then that person will just ask for death for himself. So all these things seem very strange to Amelia. She starts telling her son some other story. But Samuel was convinced of Babadook's words, and he was screaming in fear. So Amelia hides that book in the closet so that Samuel does not read that book again. But the next day, Samuel was talking about Babadook. So Amelia was tired of his actions. She explains to Samuel a lot that there is nothing like Babadook. Because of that, she could not sleep well at night. But Samuel was believing all those things. One day, Samuel opens the door of his basement, in which Amelia had closed all the memories of her husband. But now Amelia can't stop herself and goes into that basement. She saw her husband's picture after 6 years. After that, strange things started happening in the house, like opening and closing the door, finding a glass in the kitchen, and screaming at Samuel for no reason. Amelia started feeling that Samuel is doing all this. But Samuel says that Babadook is doing all this. Hearing this, Amelia was very angry. She says to Samuel that there is no such thing as Babadook. In anger, she tore the book of Babadook and throws it out of the house. The next day, Amelia goes to her sister's house, where it was her sister's daughter's birthday. Amelia's sister tells her that you should forget your past and move forward in your life. She says to her sister that I am trying to do everything, to forget everything. Amelia's sister hears all this and says, I don't like your son at all. Hearing this, like Amelia was angry. She gets angry at her sister. They're in a small treehouse. Amelia's sister's daughter and her son were alone. Her sister's daughter was telling her son that your dad is not there. Hearing this, she teases him again and again. Hearing this, Samuel got angry, and in anger pushes Amelia's sister's daughter, due to which his nose started bleeding. On this point, Amelia's sister gets more angry. That's why she tells Amelia to leave the house. Now when she was taking her son Samuel back home, he does strange things on the road too. Suddenly, he started running in the car. He had a chicken attack. Seeing this, Amelia quickly takes her son to the doctor. And there she also asked the doctor for sleep medicine for Samuel, because he did not sleep every night because of fear of Babadook. Coming home, Amelia gives sleep medicine to her son before going to bed at night, after which he was able to sleep peacefully after many days. Seeing all this, Amelia was very happy. But then the doorbell rings. When she opens the door, there was a book of Mr. Babadook outside. Someone had joined the pages of the book, which Amelia had torn and thrown away. It was written in it that if Amelia does not accept the existence of Babadook, Babadook will ruin things in her life and will trouble her. In addition to this, there were some drawings in the book, as if Amelia is killing her dog, and then her son, after which she took her life with a big knife. She kills herself. Seeing all this, Amelia is very scared. she had burned her book, after which she gets a call. As soon as Amelia puts the receiver on her ear, she heard some such voice, Babadook, Babadook. Hearing this, she gets scared and reaches the police station. About all the things she was telling the officer. The officer asks her about the book. Then she says, I have burned that book. Hearing this, the officer tells her to go home, because she did not have any proof now. At the same time, in the police station, Amelia sees a hat and a coat hanging, which was exactly the same as she had seen in the story of Babadook. Seeing this, she gets scared, after which she came home. She had made herself completely alone. She used to shout at Samuel later. Now she was starting to see Babadook. In her house too, one day Amelia sees that there is a hole behind the fridge, and many cockroaches are coming out of it. But the next moment there was nothing there. So Amelia was fed up with these incidents, so she decides that she will go out with Samuel to eat ice cream, so that her mind can get a little peace. When she goes out with her son, they were having a lot of fun, and coming back home. On the way, Amelia sees Babadook in the car, which scared her badly, and kills her car in another car. After coming home, Amelia does a lot of strange things. Her son was scared to see all this. That's why he starts calling his neighbors. But Amelia cut all the phone lines too. At night, she forcibly tries to give her son sleeping pills. But this time, Samuel doesn't take the medicine. He hides the medicine in his hand and shows his mom that he took the medicine. After this, Amelia starts to get weird thoughts. She felt like she had killed her son with a very big knife. She could see Babadook on TV too. So on top of that, she also sees her drowning form. After that, she goes to her house's basement, where she sees her husband, who was saying that, I will come back to my world when you kill my son. But here we can understand that it was just Amelia's delusion and Babadook's monster's plan. After knowing all this, before Amelia comes out of the basement, Babadook attacks her. He had taken Amelia under his control. According to that book, she kills her dog first, and then tries to kill Samuel. She opens her door again and again. When Amelia comes in, Samuel has already collected his weapons there. He attacks his mom with those weapons. Samuel ran and came to the basement, where Amelia also comes to him. So he quietly comes from behind and attacks his mom, which made her unconscious. Now when Amelia comes to her senses, she was tied up with ropes, and Samuel was sitting next to her. He says, Mom, Babadook is doing all this. You didn't believe me before. At that time, Amelia doesn't know what happens. She picks up Samuel with anger. But when Samuel calls his mom with love and started loving her, Amelia slowly comes to her senses and suddenly vomits black. Black liquid was coming out of her mouth, which made her completely unconscious. Now when she goes to her room with her son, Samuel tells his mom that no one can get rid of Babadook. Mom, then some power pulls Samuel into the room. Amelia quickly runs after her son. She had saved her son. Here too, Babadook shows her husband's visions and thoughts. But this time Amelia understood Babadook's move. She shouts, This is my house and go away from here. Hearing this, Babadook locked himself in the basement. We are shown the time after a few days, where Amelia and Samuel were both happy. Amelia had also started loving her son, and was also very interested in his weapons and magic. One day she takes some insects and goes to the basement, where Babadook used to live, so that those insects can eat that monster Babadook. It was none other than Babadook, due to which Amelia fell down. But soon she gets up, and Babadook monster took those insects and went to the corner. Amelia comes out, where she was celebrating her son's birthday. She did not hesitate. Even while talking about her husband, she had faced everything. At the end of the story, we are told that Babadook was not a monster or an evil, but Amelia's sorrow, which she had buried deep inside her. Her sorrow kept increasing, and she became so crazy that as soon as she had any control, she locked her husband's things in the basement. But since Samuel opened the basement door, all those memories came back to Amelia's mind. Just like Babadook, Amelia's sorrow was never going to go forever. But yes, now she had controlled all these things. She had become strong. The meaning of this story can also be that Babadook was a monster. She just lived with those people who were surrounded by their sorrows, like Amelia. And that's why Babadook took advantage of her. But when Amelia became strong, she fixed her life and locked Babadook, after which she started living a happy life with her son. So you gotta know this story in two ways. Which one do you think is right? Do let us know in the comment section. And with this, the story of this film ends here.